Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2 with the player ranked #1 in the world by Dark. In the blue, the final boss. It's dark. But where there's darkness, there must be light. And the Protoss needs a hero right now. The Smiling Assassin in the red. A best of 5 Protoss versus Zerg Grand Finals. These two facing off yet again with Dark's barely controlled chaos and Hero's drunken brawler Protoss. We've got a nice Grand Finals in store for you today, so hopefully you agree by smashing that like button and maybe even subscribing. And Jimmy, what are we at? $1,469 likes on this video, on this cast, and I'll cast another one. And if you agree it's nicely done, I'll probably do it anyways. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you've had a nice day so far, and hopefully it's about to get just a little bit nicer. Hero with a Stargate on Ghost River, with the ugliest wall I've ever seen since the last time Hero was walling off in PvZ. Now, to be fair, Hero, as a recognized Select-All army addict, usually doesn't have a unit in the wall anyway, so that kind of negates the need for having a particularly good one. And he's decided to block the Natry, opening up an opportunity for the Adept to violate the personal space of the Zerglings. But, to be honest, the Adepts are always throwing shade like that. The Queens, forced onto both sides. Oracle's on the way. Adept, the Zerglings patrolling the mineral line. The Probe got a little feisty and tased a few of the drones, maybe softening them up. Not sure that was the intent, mostly just to annoy Dark, I'm sure. It doesn't seem like a particularly hard thing to do. Down go 3 drones to 2 Adepts, thus showing the benefit of blocking that base, making it a lot easier for the Adepts to get in and get out after getting away with murder. First Oracle out, and slides across, already to be expected, jamming into the little mineral pockets to minimize the Zergling surface area, so they can't claw him to death while he desperately tries to take a third base. The Oracle sliding around the top side. I don't know if Dark spotted it. He does have a Spore Crawler jammed into the mineral line, so not going to be a huge issue. The obligatory 2 drones and slides on out without too much damage. A good micro from Hero. 3 Adepts and setting up the bulwark pylons to lock down the base. Another Oracle on the way. Now, we'll see if he goes for even more Oracles after that, or if 2 is going to be the limit for now. It's a little greedy to go with 2. Usually you want 2 to get damage done on the other side and keep scouting with Revelation, or to just make the Queens upset. You know, porque no los dos. But the third Oracle is the one that's usually on home defense duty. It's the one, in case Dark, not that he's been known to do so, but if there's some sort of like roachling all in or any other sort of early aggression, having that third Oracle back at home really locks things down and makes it a lot easier to defend. Twilight and Forge on the way behind. A weirdly placed Spore Crawler. The Queens, politely yet firmly, making sure that Oracle can't come in and get more damage done. Another one saddling on by. Finds 1 drone. So far, quite a haul between the Oracles and the Adepts. 9 drones. And not a single Protoss unit, though some of them permanently damaged unless they can find a way to hire an SCV to repair them, as these advanced alien races have no way to repair their mechanical units or heal reliably. I guess the Zerg passively heal over time, but that's the result of most trauma. Meanwhile, another Oracle comes in, and another few kills. That was the 3rd one now. The Triumvirate continues to rack up kills. Wow, Dark has had 42 drones, and nothing's really happened. But, get off my creep! We finally got him, Brenda. What, no snarky comments, Susan? It's just my voice. It's just how it is. I can't help it. Just like you can't help exclaiming when you do your job. Oh. Baneling Nest, +1 melee on the way for Dark, as he's not willing to sit back and build up. He's already taken such economic damage. He's very much a player who's ready to fight fire with fire. And now there's 5 Adepts and the 3 Oracles. Wait, he built another one overhead. Unless I'm hallucinating. But the Queen's already in position. This feels like a bit of an ambitious spot. The shade is canceled, but he's way too close to the creep here. And the Queen Mooch will have more than enough to take it down. These are not Glaive Adepts. They'll just die. And behind it, Dark building a whole bunch of drones. The Oracle's in a precarious position. There's only 4 Stalkers back at home. That one Oracle maybe with a stasis or a lot of energy in order to deal with this. Hero got to tuck himself back into the mineral line. More drones dead. Wow. 16 drones so far. And the only Oracle that died was the one kind of on the edge of the creep on the outside. Not even going for the drones. But Dark, I think, by shutting down the Shady Bunch there with these early Zerglings, has ground out a lot of space, a lot of map. Wow. Oracle just glides right over and just slaps down the Revelation right on top of the Zerglings, asserting dominance. Good luck with that. Meanwhile, Templar Archives already, adding a few cannons in to bolster the defenses. And a Hydralisk Den is the choice for Dark. Not surprising, Hydras and then more than likely Lurkers as time goes on. 9 Overlords in production. Well, he's gonna need them. Just lost 2 out on the field. And has plenty of income for production of both Hydras, Zerglings, and some Banelings mixed in for flavor. But here comes Hero. Blink is done, +1 completed. Charge and +1 armor on the way behind. But with Foracles behind, Hero just adding on more and more. That's going to be 5 in total, just making sure the Zerglings can't overrun him. But against Hydras and Queens, they're not much of a fighting unit. Those glass disco balls, more of a something to annoy the Zerg and keep them tied back rather than something you can fight directly with. But Storm, Charge Lots, Archons, on the other hand, are much more beefy and a much greater chance of dealing with a critical mass of Hydras, Lings, and Banes. So Hero right now is not intending to get damage done, but he needs to keep Dark back until he at least gets his Templar up. He gets his 4th base locked down. There's cannons coming together. The Nexus is about to complete. He knows right now he's vulnerable, and I'm sure Dark does as well. But until he gets Hydra speed, it's way too risky to move off the creep. Dark has a slight supply lead, but there are enough Stalkers to keep anything but a concerted attack from really being able to chase it down. Might even get 1 Hydra over the corner there. Possibly biting off more than he can chew. Dark certainly knows there's stasis wards back here with this many Oracles in the composition. And wow, Hero just coming across. The Templar will be scouted by the stasis Lings. There's no stopping that. And instead of sitting back, he's going to keep the aggression on. His supply is pretty damn high. Storm's on top of his Stalkers. Blinks out. Stasis saves some of the Lings. But actually, a well-put-together push here from Hero. Has to be incredibly careful not to lose these Templar, as everything could be disastrous here if he does. Stasis boxes in the Archons. Actually, a beautiful stasis force field. And the Archons will be protected by it. Though Hero... in fact, there's so many Zerglings in stasis, he's boxed in his own unit, so both a blessing and a curse. As the Zealots come around again, more of them dying. Hero, well, this went from a mediocre attack into a near total rout, as Dark just had way too many units. The Templar were ambitious. Storms are good, but he was fighting up a ramp onto the creep. Both ways. What a... in the rain with a box of scraps. But now a fleet beacon on the way feels a little late in the grand scheme of things, but call into the sky toss while Dark adds on a Lurker Den. He's already got Adrenal Glands on the way, +3 melee, as he's reliant on those Zerglings to continue to rip through any small amounts of Protoss that challenge him and to threaten the larger armies themselves. Well, the Zerglings closing in. The Hydras have had enough. And the charge lots are the only thing called in to deal with it. He's got 1/1 upgrades on those charge lots. And they're not really enough Banelings to crash through them. But right now there's 24 Hydras. That is quite a critical mass. If the Storms aren't able to connect, that's more than enough Hydras to just ping cushion the entire Protoss army. Mothership? Sure. Okay, the first thing he chooses, and possibly the only, a mothership. To be clear, we're not on the new patch quite yet. Not yet on the live servers. Most tournaments still held on... the Zealots trying to reenact the cinematic. This the weirdest, I'm not even gonna call it a fight, it's more like the weirdest game of reverse tag. And honestly, I think that went a lot worse for Dark. As just minerals for a whole bunch of gas. It takes like 6 banelings to kill a zealot if it has full HP, so if you're able to split them. Though the charge lots are very excited to engage in glorious battle, no matter how short that battle is. Immortals added into the composition. No Archons, but plenty of Templar, which are Archons in training. Maybe the other way around, but not. Maybe retired Templar. Meanwhile, oh, that changeling. Definitely standing out in a crowd. 4, 5, 6 stasis. How many oracles will Hero build? In fact, well, he's only lost the one. He's kept a lot of these oracles alive. Now going through the rocks to the north side. Rarely seen. Zealots fighting against Hydra. But, oh, he comes right through it. Of course, there's nothing to stop him in the wall. Not that it would do much more than slow him down for a split second. But the oracles come back. He's going to get detection. Hero's coming back, breaking back into his own base. There's only one Overseer, but the Lurkers, he blinks into the Lurker fire. The storms rain down and melt through. But Zerglings got into the main 16 probes. The entire main base mineral line was gutted by the Adrenalings. They just rip right through it. And now Dark has gotten a full scout. He's fully aware of the carrier transition. And in typical Dark fashion, he's just like, how about more Hydras? Hydra's only... they're quite a parody of an anti-air unit when it comes to dealing with carriers and Mothership and Templar, well, more importantly, Templars with Storm. But a quantity can be a quality all its own. Wow. Wow. Hero not even pretending like he's going to save that Nexus. It feels like in a game where Hero had a tenuous advantage based on his unit composition, Dark has ripped it away from him. And now it's becoming more and more desperate. Dark's in the main, Dark's in the natural, Dark's in the third base, and he just took out the fifth. Only one base remains untouched by the darkness. And I don't know if it'll remain for long. 20-something probes dead. As Hero scrambles to defend, he tried to go forward, but now he's got to take all the steps back. His recall is on cooldown. And where would you even recall to at this stage when he keeps attacking every base at once? Dark pulling Hero apart. Hero still has similar army supply, and he does have carriers and Templar. So he has all the fixins for a turnaround victory. But it's a thin line. The Mothership will inconvenience some of these Zerglings. More Zerglings running by. Dark countering carriers with Zerglings, and so far doing quite a good job of it. Forcing out yet another recall. He recalls to the natural. Another few dozen Zerglings heading for the fourth. Banelings trickling through. The cannons have been taken out, but Dark is relentless. A deluge of Zerglings just swarming over another base, and Hero's down to 35 probes. Making up for all the damage. Oh my god, the Nexus just... when they get their grubby Adrena claws on those Nexi. Wow. Need a Nexus armor upgrade. What if the Nexus could shoot? Have we tried that? Hero with a desperate forward recall. Dark just evacuates the entire base. Retreats to his defenses. He's got a full Sporchard and a... wow. There's just lurkers everywhere. The floor is lurkers. There's so many lurkers scattered throughout. It's more about sandbagging this army rather than beating it outright. He knows he has the economy, yanks the Mothership over, savor it while it lasts. And get over here. Though there's not so much anti-air. Eventually the Mothership will die. The cloaking is deactivated. The Oracle's still getting detection. Hero's economy is gone. But this army's still deadly. The Observer! No, it runs it, and now he has no detection. There's no Oracles, no Observers. Well, now what? Dark still hasn't been able to beat this army. But This army that... Okay, so at this point, I must remind, dear viewer, to like and subscribe. But also, that in order to win a game of StarCraft 2... Wow, carriers doing so much damage. They don't even have any upgrades. Hydras are just made out of tissue paper. In order to win a game of StarCraft 2, you must destroy all your opponent's buildings. Now, usually, professional players acknowledge that that is an inevitability past a certain point and leave the game. But here, despite Dark killing 100 probes and bringing Hero down to less than he started with, there is a very real possibility that, well, oh, the Oracle. The Oracle dies 1 second before it completes. Another Oracle. He's recalling back. Dark is spreading out his lurkers to minimize the revelation. But the carriers have no challenge. And all of the lurkers are on the other side. We're in a full-on elimination race. The probes! No, Hero! He's down to 1 probe! Oh my god, he ran through the last lurker! He has 1 probe left! Not that mining is a high priority. There's no energy! Oh, he's boxed in against the lurkers! It's a huge mistake out of Hero! He needs every single unit, and now he's down to 4. He lost the Oracle! Oh no! It's a disaster! I think well, Hero navigating the narrow path to defeat through the gaping chasm of victory. It actually feels like if he didn't get trapped in against the lurkers in that moment, he had the army, he still had immortals, he still had archons, and he has carriers. There's 2 Hydras. Well, okay, so Dark is literally he's going for elimination. Oh my god, the Archon. The Archon hunted by Zerglings! You were supposed to defeat them! But counters don't matter to Dark. 1, he's building an Infestor, Burrow, and Neural Parasite with his last money. Those 2 lurkers are very problematic. Hero has 1 mineral. He has an mineral. What? He's... Oh my, it's a straight up, he has to come, there's no detection though. He can't see the lurkers. He like, checkmate. 1 carrier remains. Yeah, but there's nothing to stop these lurkers from killing all the buildings. Even if he unburrows, he should be able to survive the carriers for long enough. Hero, what have you done? Does he notice the He's about to be revealed. The Hydras, no, they don't kill the carrier, right? They do have +2/+2 now. He burrows a Hydra. Hero has not rebuilt his base and is being revealed. And he's been revealed to be a bit of a fool here today. You had 1 job to be severely reductionist. And that job was 1, to scout. He scouted everything but exactly that hatchery. The infestors pop out. They're burrowed. And, he's gonna have the energy. He could... No. Dark is mining. However little, Dark is mining. Hero has 0 probes. From hero to 0 indeed. He has 1 mineral anyways, so... Not that it matters. Not that... Dark doesn't know for sure there's 0 probes and 0 minerals. And now Dark has a carrier. Oh no! Oh, Dark. What a disaster! Dark. He doesn't beat the carriers, but he beats everything else. And Dark achieves victory effectively by technical knockout. Which, well, how do you kill carriers? You don't. You kill everything else. There's your answer. Hero making some dramatic blunders despite an overall, I think, solid grasp of how to keep the pressure on, but Dark is gonna dark. And there's a reason. He's the final boss. When he's enraged, it becomes almost impossible. It really feels like Hero kept trying to fit Dark into this idea of what Zerg should be able to do in the late game. But Dark doesn't conform to your silly ideas. Speaking of non-conforming, Hero will be doing the gold-based cannon rush. Because, of course he will. Dark has to know he was going to do this. It's so played out at this point. You know he's going to cannon rush it. Do you? Hero will slam the cannon down. So now it's a game of chicken. And that game is ended. As Dark, it's very intentional. He knows he's going to cannon rush it at this point. So he immediately cancels and takes the third. Will Hero cannon rush the... Yep, okay. There's Zealots on the way. He's gonna bring the drones up, but the Zealot is here. Wait, what? Are you gonna fight the Zealot? He sees the Zealot. He's like, no, I got this, bro. He's got some Zerg. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is a disaster. Dark is... He's got the script here. God. Move over, Shakespeare. Dark is making the plays now. Is he... He's the one getting Cannon Zealot rushed, and he is the one who hasn't lost a unit. I think that's about to change slightly, but there's no reason he even needs to fight. Hero has expanded beyond. He's building at depths now. Well, this didn't work. Dark has 3 hatches, gets a full surround, a couple more Zerglings, a main base. The citizens arrest the Predator drones will come out, but actually is able to jam into the Mineral Line. Queen pops out angrily. But, you know, that's par for the course. And the Adept will get away. So 2 Adepts in order of magnitude more dangerous than 1, but... Zergling speed is done. Wow. And gets the full surround. He's gonna... Wow, you can jam back there. Good to know, I guess. So many little nooks and crannies to get your silly Protoss all slippered into. Yep, that's the one. That's the word. I got the best words. Like and subscribe to hear more of my great words. It's a bigly help. So... Adept Glaive's on the way, which is quite predictable. Still, not necessarily ineffective. Feels like one of those things that's so obvious, it becomes less obvious again. The question, does Dark just build a Roach 1 out of a abundance of safety / an interest? Yeah, remember this pylon? It's only been 4 minutes. Glaives isn't done. No, what have you done? He gets 4 of them out. But you know what they say, that which doesn't kill you leaves you with incredibly lasting trauma and a general fear of confrontation. Dark gets in and then thinks better of it. I think there was a hallucination that went out. That's why the sentry doesn't have energy. Pretty clear now it's going to be glaived at depths based on the way it is. Isn't that neat? Jimmy, give Dark his point! Yeah! Sorry. Oh, Brenda, call everyone! Nobody uses phones nowadays, and you're bringing too many bits together at once. It doesn't make a byte, it just makes a disjointed Winter. Now I'm confused. Yeah, and we're gonna keep it that way. Glaive to Depths. Trying to break through the Queens. Transfuse, holding it together. One gets assassinated. And a Depth Shade threw into the... Oh, from the frying pan into a much larger and more dangerous frying pan. Well, that did not go well. This has been a series of unfortunate events, which implies that there was some sort of luck to it, where instead Dark is played him like a very dramatic and suspicious sounding fiddle. Zergling tickled to death. Happens to the best of us and also the rest of us. Yeah, that's a lot of Roach Ravager. Well, I don't... What he hallucinates a Phoenix, so that way he could see that, yep, that's Ravagers and Zerglings. And now he has a lot less Sentry energy. Not that I think that would help very much, because Hero is very dead. Oh, I don't know. He's gonna try to hold the force fields. The corrosive bomb comes through. Shield battery overcharge. Adepts fighting for their lives. Sentries surrounded. Adepts in the back line. Another couple shield batteries on the way. He's gonna try to add a cannon in. And Hero desperately microing back. The Ravagers coming in. 6 probes dead. And now the Adepts are surrounded. The Robo. It could go either way, but it's not going to. He's super dead. Hero. It's okay, Hero. You can leave now. But he won't. Sprays and prays. There goes another one. Honestly, if he had a dark shrine... Is there a lair? No, there's a lair. And that pylon powers most everything here. He breaks through. There's no more force field. There goes another shield battery. Hero microing back. And into the mineral line. Get some of the probes. GG. Alright. Dark just kind of slaps him across the face and racks up a second game. Well, that one was not as close. But I don't know, maybe Hero can turn it all around. It feels like mentally and possibly physically defeated by the struggles of that first game. Hero with a 1/4 hearted cannon rush against the most obvious goal. Like, is it even worth? You don't want him to have the gold, but at the same time, that scenario has played out so much. Dark has taken the gold base every time. Pretty much, he's been on that map. He has a plan for when you cannon rush it. And the plan was just get way ahead economically by abusing the fact that Protoss feel obligated to cannon rush that base. So, well, match point for the final boss. Living up to his nickname here. Now, if I know Dark, and I wish I did better, and who doesn't? It's a Nidus time. Now, we're on Oceanborn, our most standard and honestly our most, I believe, statistically most balanced of maps in pro games. Almost exactly 50% win rate across the board in every matchup, non-mirror matchups, which are also 50% win rate usually across the board, because, duh. But we'll see. Hero with another very creative wall-in setup. Again, so the reason to wall in like this, so the pylon is part of the wall, is so that way you can wall in without 2 gates. Usually you have 3 buildings. 3 large buildings, not the largest buildings like a Nexus or your mother, but instead Cybercore, gate. if you put the pylon there, you can jam a Adept or a Probe in. Now, of course, that means you have a pylon as part of the wall, though. Which, again, is kind of a weirdly irrelevant part of things for Hero, because he rarely has a unit actually walling things off anyway. So, here we are. But here's the Oracle in the production tab. Adept just kind of doing its thing, being very annoying. The worker harassment phase, which is apparently a part of every Blizzard game, where now an Oracle will follow up for the Adept, and then we'll have more Adepts and more Oracles, and that'll just kind of keep continuing until Zerg actually has enough units to drive them all out. Adept kind of hanging out. Oracle coming in. A few Zerglings sneaking across. And the Queens, but there's no Spore Crawler. Which, a bit of an oversight. Possibly intentional. Just a bit out of position with the Queens. 10 drones on the way for Dark. Behind it, Forge. Twilight should be following up momentarily. Very standard. Well, assuming he gets the Twilight, very standard out of Hero. Show me your council. Okay. Twilight Council. Oh. Oracles both light up to burn out some Zerglings. Ain't no kill like overkill. Lair is on the way. And that's it. Like, no Roach Warren. No. The 2 gases as well. But an Evo chamber. So that kind of throws off my predictions of the Nidus. Doesn't rule it out entirely, but it would be odd to go for that. It might be for the benefit of scouting here. Overlord speed? Or just Hydras? It, you know, makes sense as well. Just dealing with straight up... Yeah, there's the ranged attack upgrade. Hydras are back in vogue. I'm using that term correctly, right? In vogue? No, you can't say it like that. It's not one word. But they're back in style. They've always been in style, but they seem to have had a bit of a resurgence against the abundance of Blink builds. And Hydras are just a very good unit, as long as your opponent has absolutely no splash damage. A critical mass can easily cut down Blink Stalkers in Zerg versus Terran against just, especially just mass Marine sort of builds. The new patch will nerf buff them. I would call it a nerf, having less speed on creep with the speed upgrade, but having a hive tech dash. Not very good, but it's something. But the general attack move potential will not be reduced significantly, so. Whole bunch of Hydras on the way. The Oracles, the staple of this matchup, holding it down. Blink almost completed. Dark is at 66 drones, and he's pumping out units here. Hero with a second Robo and a Robo Bay on the way. So going into Colossi, which a big choice. If he can get it done, though, obviously that's quite a counter against the Hydras and Lings specifically. Dark is mixing in a few Roaches, though, as well. Which can really mitigate the potential damage of things like Colossi and absorb the fire of Archons as well. So I think mix it in like a half and half sort of Roach Hydra composition with a few Zerglings sprinkled in for extra flavor. It's an old strategy, but it checks out. As Dark continues his archaeological expedition, taking down the rocks across the map, opening things up. Raptors 2 Raptors and then extended thermal lance? Okay. Now, Disruptors come out of the box at their maximum strength, whereas Colossi do need that extended thermal lance in order to maintain their social distancing precautions. So, it does make some sort of sense, but building up that Colossus count is very important as well. So we'll see if the Disruptors first are the play, or if he'll regret it as time goes on. Hydra speed about to complete. Blinkstalker is actually outmaneuvering the Hydras, or are they? As a few more slither by. The Roaches! Quite a gauntlet being run here. The Stasis. Now the Disruptor fires off a shot and warns the Zerg that they shouldn't stick around because it's dangerous out here. Blinkstalker. Disruptor shot, he curves it. Hits one singular Roach. And now, well, another Raptor comes up, but unfortunately the Roaches and Hydra's already on top of them, fighting against the Blinkstalkers as well. One recharged back into the third base. Hero looks like he's defending across the board. Shield battery overcharge helping out a bit. Blancs on top of the Hydras. And actually quite a capable defense so far. Oh, another volley, and another one as well. The Raptor's continuing. What? Extended thermal lance is about to complete, but there are no Colossi. Another wave of Zerglings, going to make it much more precarious to use those Raptors. He didn't actually start any Colossi after the Raptor production, and now the Zerglings are helping out a lot. Another set of shot skills, a Zealot alongside it. Well, Disruptors flung every which way. Overall, Dark unable to break any of these bases, and the Disruptor count is still pretty high. In fact, he had more Raptors than any other unit for a moment there. But now he needs Colossi. In fact, he probably should have started Colossi already. He has extended thermal lance completed. It's considered rude to extend your thermal lances and not use them. I'm just saying. But here we are. A Hydra count. So Dark actually doesn't have a hive or lurkers. Hero needs Colossi. He has them ready. They're good to go. He really should be building Colossi right now. I stand strongly by that. Now, he doesn't know for sure that Dark is still on lair tech. If he did, he'd be building Colossi. But he's afraid of the lurker switch. Dark has preempted that by simply not bothering. And, oh no, here comes Dark. From every side, the Disruptors flung every which way. They'll find a target, but not enough of them. The Blinkstalkers try to box out. Another split gets out of the way. Zerglings hold positioning on top, and the entire Protoss army is ripped apart. Hero surrounded and destroyed. Don't do the sad recall. Routed. The 5 survivors will go back to their side of the map. A bit late for the Colossi now. Better late than never, but only just. That's your changeling, Dark. In an odd spot there. Hero making the absolutely classic Protoss mistake of attacking right before you put your best unit composition together. And Dark just comprehensively smashes that on. Oh my god, he doesn't even have charge done. The force field's optimistic. The banelings trickling through. The Colossus fire, doesn't matter how he blinks in. He'll lose the robo incidentally to banelings. Colossus tumbles down. Banelings explode the entire middle line. The Nexus will falter. The second Colossus tumbles as well. And GG, Dark with a clean sweep and a decisive victory for the final boss against his nemesis Hero. There will be no light today, only darkness, which brings us to our bonus game. Dark versus Zhao. Back to that. There's a spoiler here. This was the semifinals was Dark versus Zhao. So a warm up for Hero. But I want to check it out as well and see if he suffered from the same circumstances. So we will see. But Dark with a It feels like after that elimination race, it went downhill from there. Does Dark do the gold base against Zhao? Yep. Mm-hmm. So here we are again. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Feels like Hero is quite a difficult player to root for. He has such a fun style, but it's also a painful one when it goes wrong. I feel like he made the right calls at the wrong time throughout the entire series. Now, interestingly, Zhao's not even gonna challenge the gold. As we chrono boost through, I've seen a lot of positive responses about the chrono boosting through the early game instead of just skipping it entirely or sitting through it. Because, I mean, if you really want, you can slow it down, half speed, make me sound even more ridiculous than I already do, or just mute it. So that way, those of you interested in the actual builds can get a look at it. And those of you not so interested, well, you don't even notice the time passes by. So, well, here we are. Brenda. A little bit off the creep. So Zhao doesn't even try to challenge the base. The rocks are opened up. The Zergling's in position. He might be able to get one drone. He does. Jams it in there. Actually, body blocks. Body blocks the potential spore dodge. Wow, straight to blink. For those who don't know, Zhao has completed his military service, immediately came back and wants to play again, which is cool to see. Dark, on the other hand, keeps not really threatening, but we're in a Zest situation where it seems like he doesn't want to... Oh my god, his wall up was so bad. That's also not the right way to do it, so... The angling was poor. Oh yeah, let's watch it again. Good idea, Jimmy. Okay, so Protoss never figured out how to... The advanced technology of building a door you could open. Actually, I think he could have walled it off correctly. I think he just put it in the wrong spot. Not 100%, but that's a little sad. Now Dark just has a roach warren on the way. That spore crawler, I think, walls in this area. He's expecting oracles, but it's just straight up blink. Zhao? Oh, well, that's if he doesn't just die. Well, I guess the force field does something here. This isn't even supposed to be like... Oh, he's warping in at depth. Unfortunately, nice little adaptation there. Now, we've got the Protoss foyer. What are you doing? You know, I think Dark's win rate would drop by like 20% in this matchup if Protoss just had supply depots. Not even like able to repair them. Just straight up supply depots. Not even like a Protoss version. Just literally supply depots. And then whenever Protoss plays against Terran, they have to pay 100 mineral tax that goes directly to the Terran player. Because that's fair and balanced for using proprietary Terran technology. Makes sense. Well, despite all of that, Zhao still has plenty of probes and now a Warp Prism with some Blink Stalkers, just stock Blink Stalkers. Thing is, Dark does have the gold base, so... Economy's about even. Ravagerling pretty good here. We'll have... won't get supply box, losing one Overlord. How many? 5 gates. Sure. What an odd number. Are those queens? Yeah, they can slip right by there. The Zerglings looking to overrun. And he's Ghetto blinking back. Free... okay, well... Dark's only at 37 drone. He's going for it. He's going for the kill right here. Again, the enemy is at the gates. Quite literally. As Zhao backs off into the supply closet, which is actually surprisingly accurate description, dodging corrosive bile with his blade. Wow. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna watch the whole series then. He just... Wow, what a weird time to give up, though appropriate. He just dies. So... blinks into GG. New strategy. Okay. 4K? Dark just eviscerated. So to Hero's credit, he survived longer in all of the games than that. But we will see. All right. Here we go. Game 2. Gonna block the Natchery. So Dark, of course, is gonna go take Zhao's. Because... oh, yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. He's gonna expand to both naturals. He doesn't even feel... well, this is... will we just take his third, is the question now. The amount of probes pulled, right on the money. Takes the gas geyser. Oh, such a spiteful player. You love to see it. And the drone chasing the probe. He actually extractor tricked on Zhao's side of the map. And now, go home, Sam. No. The scouting drone will remain. And then he's just gonna stand by and try to take the gas. The Zealot. Why won't you die? Gonna try to keep tabs. And by taking that gas, he guarantees that Zhao can't build a Stargate right off the bat. Which is likely the direction he wanted to go. The Adept went straight across. So that means the drone will actually scout the Stargate. There's no keeping him in the himself about it. Zealot. Painfully slow, especially for an advanced melee warrior. Maybe you should do a bit more cardio. Pretty sure you have to get an upgrade for that. Speed about to complete. And so far, off to an awkward start. So, whenever Zerg does some weird hatchery stuff like this, they end up with less workers than Protoss. We saw that last game. We're seeing it this game as well. But it's about kind of a map control advantage. You can leverage that lower worker count, but that sort of indecision from the Protoss into eventually either an economic lead or, like Dark did last game, a timing that hits before the Protoss has a critical mass of units. Now, when I do it, I come up against more than enough defenses, I'm way behind in economy, and I feel terrible. When Dark does it, he just smashes the best players in the world, and he makes it look a little embarrassing. So, come to the dark side. We have very awkward yet surprisingly effective Zerg timings. The Zealot holds the door. Oracle will be asked to leave by the Hatchery Owners Association. The Zerglings will attack whatever angers them most. Theirs on the way. Roach 1 gonna join it. As Dark kind of spins up the rest of his production. Zhao built a Void Ray to take out some Overlords, so gonna pull back there. All the Overlords on the minimap pulling back now. Slaps a Revelation down. Void Ray. Almost taken out by 3 queens, but that opens up an opportunity for the Oracle to rack up a few more kills. And Dark loses 5 drones. Templar Archives, Robotics Facility, +1 ground attack, 4 more gates, and that charge upgrade have begun for Zhao. So he's getting everything. And he already has the Stargate. Feeling pretty comfortable with these Stargate units. Dark, does he build the Hydra then? That's the question. Or is he just gonna try to break them? There it is. All right. Zhao had definitely a different vibe than Hero. Also kind of a crazy Protoss style. Willing to try new things. Unfortunately, Dark has slapped it all down so far. Does he just go Storm, or are we looking at a timing attack here? +1 in charge of finishing. Where's the Warp Prism? Where's the Warp Prism? Sorry. You gotta raise your voice with the Protoss. They're not used to hearing words. Because they don't have mouths. Yeah. That's why they're so quiet on the Balance Council. Sir! The lack of Warp Prism seems a bit concerning, but this is a dangerous Protoss army nonetheless. Zerglings on hold position in the mineral line. Roaches just finished speed. No Hydras with the composition. Just 1 Immortal. The stasis is pretty obvious. He's just going to trigger it. Oh my god, the Roach actually dies. Oh wow. Okay. And he gets the Oracle. Oh my god. It's an unmitigated disaster. Wow, that was... I don't want to say sad, but I'm just because, well, that force field. Zhao lost the Oracle, multiple Archons. He's fighting against just Roaches here, and he's losing the trade. It's not going well. Like, this is certainly not a scenario you want to be in. Because even if Dark loses all these Roaches, he's building Hydras behind. So these trades, if he can keep the Immortal and Archon count down, that's the ticket right there. That's how you eventually just run him over. The Queen's getting the creep spread out. The 4th base is going to be the focal point. Void Ray deleted from the game. Almost. And also in this game as well. The Hydras just take it out before we even got a shot of it. And the 3rd base is wide open. He's building some more cannons. There's no Storm. And without a Storm against this Roach Hydra, I'm hard-pressed to see the Protoss army finding the overwhelming success he so desperately needs. The Archon shoved out in front, regretting that decision. It's a bit late, though. The force fields now. Ravager, Cocoon. Yeah, not sure those force fields are helping more. Hydra slips on by. The Roach Hydra count's still overwhelming. Zhao actually has more workers, but he just doesn't have the unit composition to take advantage of it very meaningfully. There's no counterattack. There's nothing keeping Dark from just rallying units across. Creep spread halfway across the map as well. Dark backs off, seeing the sheer unit count right now. Gonna re-angle. Fleet beacon on the way. He's building an Overseer. I guess Dark Templar, someone ironically would be quite a counter in this exact scenario, but he's just gonna... He's chipping away at the Nexus. There's nothing to break this. The Archon count is not high enough. The Ravager cocoons to absorb damage. And Immortals are good, but they're single target. There goes the Nexus. The Immortals not living up to their name. The Hydra's closing in. Another one picked off. That's it. Lights out. Good night. Uh-huh. Dark just... Another just spontaneous GG out of Zhao. As Dark comes away with a 5-0 against Protoss in both the semifinals and the grand finals of the Korean StarCraft 2 League this week. Good to see him back in form. I'm hoping we get some games of him on the new balance patch, which I assume will eventually at some point be live. I apologize for the ambiguity and not making it clear whether or not it's on the new balance patch, because I myself am not sure when that's happening, because the intern hasn't gotten his quarterly lunch break or something yet. I don't know. But thank you. And it'd be awesome if you check out and maybe support the Korean StarCraft 2 League, as they're kind of at the limit of being able to put it on as regular as they do. So the Patreon link's in the description. And of course, if you got the means of motivation, so is mine as well. And YouTube membership and all that. But I hear liking and subscribing is still free for now. So thank you for watching. I hope I made your day just a little bit better. Congratulations to Dark as always. And I'll see you next time. Hopefully. Good luck. Have fun. Thank you for watching. Stay chill.